It's the playground of serious mountaineers, rock climbers, abseilers, trail runners. The iconic Table Mountain is also a favorite destination for hundreds of thousands of hikers who climb it every year. Zahira and Zarina Talia from Johannesburg had been looking forward to climbing the mountain with their children again.
It's always been my dream to take my kids up again. So we've been discussing this for the last year.
The 19th of December 2020 was a beautiful day. The route the Talias chose was Skeleton Gorge, popular amongst hikers.
It was just some stunning views, and we walk in a fashion where I lead, my kids walk in the middle, and my wife brings up from the back.
The mountain was teeming with fellow hikers that day. The easing of COVID restrictions has seen a huge increase in hikers, and experienced mountaineer Fiona McIntosh noticed the surge, especially when beaches were closed in December 2020.
There was a hell of a lot of traffic on the mountain, and I think, particularly on Lion's Head and on Platteklip Gorge, the main routes, there was a lot of overcrowding.
The Talia family had almost reached the top of the mountain when Zarina collapsed.
She was lagging behind. I heard a scream, and she had had a heart attack or something related to her heart, which had resulted in her in just falling down.
A doctor and two paramedics who were hiking close by tried to resuscitate Zarina.
And by the time mountain rescue had arrived, they'd informed me that she had passed away. It was difficult. It was really, really difficult.
This year alone, the Table Mountain chain has seen more than 50 rescue operations, from Lion's Head, which is often jam-packed with hikers, across the mountain to the South Peninsula Ranges. Alistair Christians is rescue manager of the Cape Town Metropole.
In the last 2 weeks, we had 4 to 5 calls per day on the Table Mountain or on Lion's Head. That is only here in the Metropole.
In February, experienced hiker Ulrika Kushka was descending the mountain with friends on the Nursery Ravine route when she fell.
Lost my footing and fell in the path, but in such a way that I tumbled and rolled and then came to a standstill.
She immediately knew she was in trouble. Her hip was broken. A call went out for help, and soon Sandparks rangers and other rescuers appeared on the scene. She was carried uphill to an area for a safe evacuation and then airlifted off the mountain and taken to hospital, where she underwent a hip replacement operation.
It's amazing. Where do these guys come from? And they do it with such compassion and care.
It starts with a distress call coming into the EMS Provincial Emergency Control Centre.
Particularly when it's on the mountain, there's a sense of urgency. The Health Operations Centre ensures that we mobilize multiple people because an operation of this nature requires many stakeholders.
On the 20th of March, just after 10:30 a.m., the control centre patched through an emergency call to the Metro Rescue Base. 83-year-old Traves Nettleton had been hiking in a large group to the Cecilia Forest waterfall when he missed his footing, fell, and rolled down the mountain for about 15 meters. The incident commander sent out a WhatsApp message to Wilderness Search and Rescue, which comprises multidisciplinary volunteer organizations and role players like Sandparks, the police, and the South African Red Cross Air Mercy Service. A Metro rescue vehicle was dispatched and set up base at Constantia Neck. The off-road rescue unit ferried Metro paramedics and other rescuers to a site close to Nettleton's position, where he was stabilized and his wounds treated. This operation was coordinated entirely on the WhatsApp group, and in all, 7 organizations participated.
You're in safe hands.
I'm in very good hands. Yes. Absolutely amazed, yes. I really, really am. How good care I've been taken of.
Team leaders decided to airlift Nettleton off the mountain. The Western Cape Department of Health contracted the South African Red Cross Air Mercy Service, which has been involved in over 800 search and rescue missions on this mountain chain. their helicopters can be airborne within 5 minutes of a call.
You always put yourself in the patient's shoes and you want to get there as soon as possible to provide the best source of help you can give them.
The helicopter arrived just after 1 p.m. and lowered a stretcher to one of the rescuers below. It landed close by while the team spent the next 20 minutes preparing their patient for an aerial evacuation.
I want you to just keep your eyes closed as much as possible for me. There's a lot of dust flying around. Okay. And just keep your eyes closed. Okay.
Then the helicopter returned and hoisted up one of the paramedics to take care of Nettleton on board. The cable was again lowered and he was then successfully airlifted off the mountain and taken to hospital. Volunteer rescuers have day jobs, but they are prepared to drop everything to assist in a rescue, often dangerous and tiring work. Pastor Brent Russell is always on standby.
I've been rock climbing for about 20 years, and I think that affords us a measure of technical ability in the mountains. And I just think I've got a huge skill set at my disposal that can help save people's lives, and there's just nothing better than being able to do that.
Fiona, who is an adventure travel writer, has climbed many mountains around the world. Tell me, why do you do this?
Well, it's really a chance to give something back. And I guess, to be honest, if I got into trouble, I'd hope people came looking for me. So I'm very happy to go looking for them.
And they have their hands full. Statistics show that falls, hikers becoming stuck and tired are the main reasons for rescues this year. Too often, hikers are taken to the mountain without the correct gear, they stray off the path, they don't take enough water and become dehydrated, or they suffer hypothermia because clothing worn is inadequate for the changing weather conditions. Assisting rescuers now is the Metro Rescue Base's new drone, which came into operation in December 2020. On the 10th of February, a hiker became stranded on a rock ledge on Lion's Head. A distress call was received at 10:35 a.m.
We're making the search and rescue time a lot easier and a lot quicker for patients to be removed off the mountain successfully.
The drone took off at 12:43 p.m. Within 5 minutes, it had found the hiker, and rescuers were then guided to him and he was led to safety. But sometimes, rescuers have to brace themselves for the worst-case scenario. Tragically, every year, hikers and even experienced mountaineers lose their lives on the Table Mountain chain. Last year, there were 9 fatalities, Zarina Talia being one of them. A rescue operation swung into action and she was airlifted off the mountain, and the devastated family was driven down the mountain on a jeep track. A trauma counselor had been called in to stand by.
A counsellor there already waiting for my kids, which I found was really wonderful, just to be able to firstly just assess a little bit on myself, and then also just to be able to give me a little bit of feedback in terms of the kids. It's all overwhelming at that point.
Already this year, there have been 6 fatalities on the Table Mountain chain. Brent is sometimes tasked with retrieving bodies from inaccessible locations.
Look, that's always difficult, and I think each rescuer has their own mechanism to deal with that. We do check up on each other because these things are traumatic, but then you're helping a family find closure. Otherwise they've lost a loved one and they can't find that solace and that closure at the end. And so whilst that's a very difficult and painful part of our rescue, we do it because we know it helps those families.
In January, a letter written by the Talia family was published in the media, thanking all those who had assisted them during their difficult time. Kushka is recovering well. She never realized that volunteers played such a key part in the process.
These were all really complete strangers, and they all showed me the best side of humanity. But why are they so quiet? We never hear about them.
Wilderness Search and Rescue's Johan Murray says volunteers prefer it that way.
We believe that the best recognition that we get is the fact that we are successful in what we do.
In the meantime, Traves Nettleton has been discharged from hospital. He's doing well and grateful to those who helped him.
It's quite humbling to think that, this is my job, I get paid to do this, as do most of my team. It's when we are encountered such commitment from people who don't get paid. And it's not easy work, it's dangerous work. So it's quite remarkable the level of, I guess, humanity that these volunteers demonstrate.